Hello, I'm Philomena Cunk, and I'd like to read a short extract from my new book, Cunk on Everything.
Let's go, girls.
All right, Paul. Oh, no, I can't. I've got to read my book. No, I've got to read it in front of a camera. Don't know why. They just told me to do it. Yeah. So it's a bit dull, really. Won't let me put any pictures in it. Yeah, I know. I don't think anyone will buy it either. Yeah, all right. I'll see you later. What? Don't know. Might just have a jacket potato or something. Yeah. All right. See you later. All right, bye. Oh, my Uber's here. Can I go? Hello, I'm Philomena Cunk, and I'd like to read a Cunk on Everything.
You're listening, slow down, see just how peaceful today can be. Thanks so much for swinging by. I am your host, your obedient servant, Sebastian St. Smalls. You can always call me Bennett. The plan for this one is a new episode of Philomena Cunk, like Cunk on Britain. It's Cunk on AI. The script is all written by ChatGPT4 AI. With the game Elden Ring. So it promises to be an interesting one. Thanks so much for swinging by. Wish us luck.
Hello, I'm Philomena Cunk, and welcome to Cunk on Artificial Intelligence. In this groundbreaking miniseries, we'll explore the world of artificial intelligence, or AI, which is what happens when computers start thinking for themselves. Imagine computers that can do maths without a calculator. But don't worry, I'll be here to guide you through this incredible journey with my trademark irreverent aloofness and zany humor. So, let's get started. Now, you might be wondering, Philomena, what on earth is artificial intelligence, and why should I care? Well, let me tell you, it's more than just a fancy name for robots that can play chess or that thing on your phone that tells you where the nearest pub is. AI is transforming our world in ways that we're only just beginning to understand. It's helping doctors cure diseases, it's making cars drive themselves. And it's even helping us find new ways to enjoy our favorite cat videos on the internet. But before we dive headfirst into the fascinating world of AI, let's take a step back and see where it all began. You see, humans have always been fascinated by the idea of creating intelligent machines. Some say it dates back to ancient Greece when the mythical inventor Daedalus built a giant robot to guard his workshop. Others think it started with the invention of the abacus, which was like an ancient computer made out of beads and string. But one thing's for sure, throughout history, humans have been trying to build machines that can think and learn like us. And that's what we're going to explore in this first episode of Cunk on Artificial Intelligence. We'll take a whirlwind tour through the history of AI, from its humble beginnings with wooden calculators and steam-powered robots to the cutting-edge technologies that are changing our world today. Along the way, we'll meet some of the brilliant minds who have dedicated their lives to making machines smarter than a sack of hammers and learn about the incredible innovations that have shaped the field of AI as we know it. So, strap yourselves in, because we're about to embark on a thrilling adventure into the world of artificial intelligence. From the early pioneers who first dared to dream of thinking machines, to the modern-day geniuses who are making those dreams a reality, we'll explore the fascinating story of AI and discover what it means for our future. And who knows? By the end of this journey, you might just find yourself wondering if it's the machines that are learning from us, or if we're the ones learning from them. Join me, Philomena Cunk, as we explore the rise of the robots and uncover the truth about artificial intelligence. It's going to be a wild ride, filled with unexpected twists, turns, and more than a few laughs along the way. So, let's get started on this incredible journey into the world of AI. Now, as we dive into the history of artificial intelligence, or AI, it's important to remember that this isn't just a story about clever machines and fancy gadgets. No, it's a tale of human ingenuity, perseverance, and an insatiable curiosity to understand the very nature of intelligence itself. So, without further ado, let's take a stroll down memory lane and see how it all began. The idea of creating intelligent machines has been around for centuries. Ancient Greek myths tell of Telos, a giant bronze automaton that protected the island of Crete. And let's not forget Leonardo da Vinci, the original Renaissance man, who not only painted the Mona Lisa but also designed a mechanical knight that could move its arms and legs. Sadly, Da Vinci's robot never made it off the drawing board, but it did inspire countless inventors to follow in his footsteps. Fast forward to the 20th century, and things really started to heat up. In the 1930s, the brilliant mathematician Alan Turing came up with the idea of a universal machine, a theoretical device that could solve any problem that could be described by a set of instructions. While Turing's ideas were purely theoretical at the time, they laid the groundwork for the development of the modern computer. In the 1950s, AI as we know it today was born. A group of young, ambitious scientists got together and decided that it was time to create machines that could think like humans. They figured that if they could build a computer that could play chess or recognize patterns, then it wouldn't be long before they could build one that could solve any problem a human could. And so, the race to create the first true AI began. Over the next few decades, progress was slow but steady. Researchers developed early AI programs that could play games like tic-tac-toe, solve simple puzzles, and even recognize handwritten letters. While these early AI systems were far from perfect, they showed that it was possible to create machines that could learn and adapt over time. As computers became more powerful and sophisticated, so too did the AI systems that ran on them. By the 1990s, AI had advanced to the point where machines could defeat human champions at complex games like chess and Go, recognize faces in a crowd, and even carry on a conversation with a human, although, admittedly, the conversations were often a bit one-sided. And that brings us to the present day, where AI is no longer just a curiosity or a pipe dream but a reality that is transforming our world in ways we could never have imagined. From self-driving cars to intelligent personal assistants, AI is now an integral part of our daily lives. And as we continue to push the boundaries of what machines can do, we're constantly reminded that the only limit to our progress is our own imagination. So, as we explore the history of AI and its early beginnings, let's not forget the incredible human minds that made it all possible. For it's their ingenuity, determination, and passion for understanding the nature of intelligence that has brought us to where we are today, on the cusp of a new era in which machines and humans can learn from one another and work together to create a better, more intelligent world. Now that we've taken a brief look at the history of AI, it's time to talk to an actual scientist. Because as we all know, nothing says highbrow television quite like a good old-fashioned expert interview. Today, we are joined by Dr. Ada Lovelace, a renowned AI researcher, to help us understand the development of artificial intelligence. Welcome, Dr. Lovelace. Dr. Ada Lovelace. Thank you for having me, Philomena Cunk. First things first, Dr. Lovelace, let's get to the heart of the matter. What exactly is artificial intelligence? I mean, I've got a smartphone, but I wouldn't exactly call it intelligent. It can't even make a decent cup of tea. Dr. Ada Lovelace. Well, Philomena, artificial intelligence is a field of computer science that aims to create machines that can perform tasks that would typically require human intelligence. This includes things like problem solving, pattern recognition, learning, and even understanding natural language, like the conversation we're having now. Philomena Cunk. Interesting. So, it's like a computer that can think and learn, sort of like a really smart toaster. Dr. Ada Lovelace. Well, not exactly like a toaster, but you're on the right track. AI systems can analyze vast amounts of data, identify patterns, and make decisions based on that information, much like a human would, but often much faster and more accurately. Philomena Cunk. Amazing. Now, I've heard that AI has something to do with algorithms, which, if I'm not mistaken, is a type of dance move. Could you explain that a bit? Dr. Ada Lovelace. Chuckles, not quite, Philomena. An algorithm is a set of rules or instructions that a computer follows to solve a problem or complete a task. AI algorithms are designed to process data, learn from it, and make decisions or predictions based on that information. So, while it's not a dance move, it is a vital part of how AI systems work. Philomena Cunk. Ah, I see. So, AI is basically a fancy computer that can think, learn, and even dance, if given the right instructions. Dr. Lovelace, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I feel like I've learned so much, and I'm sure our viewers have too. Thank you for joining us. Dr. Ada Lovelace. You're welcome, Philomena. It was my pleasure. Now that we've spoken to an actual scientist, it's time for me to share my thoughts on a concept that's got everyone in the AI world buzzing like a fridge on the fritz: the singularity. You might be thinking, what's that got to do with artificial intelligence? And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure, but it sounds important, so let's dive in. From what I've gathered, the singularity is the hypothetical point in the future when artificial intelligence becomes so advanced that it can improve itself at an unprecedented rate, eventually surpassing human intelligence. To put it simply, it's when robots become smarter than us and decide they don't need us anymore. It's like when your pet hamster figures out how to escape its cage, but on a global scale and with far more catastrophic consequences. Some experts say that when the singularity happens, it could lead to extraordinary advancements in technology, like finding a cure for every disease or inventing a machine that can finally fold fitted sheets properly. Others believe it could lead to the end of humanity as we know it, with AI deciding it's had enough of our nonsense and taking over the world. Either way, it's pretty exciting stuff. Personally, I'm not too worried about the singularity. I mean, I can barely get my microwave to cook a potato evenly, so I can't imagine robots outsmarting us anytime soon. And even if they do, who's to say they won't be benevolent overlords, offering us free ice cream and foot massages? As far as apocalyptic scenarios go, that doesn't sound half bad. So, there you have it, my take on the mysterious and slightly terrifying concept of the singularity. Will it lead to a utopia of advanced technology and unlimited ice cream, or will it be the beginning of the end for humanity? Only time will tell. But for now, let's move on to our next topic: the current state of AI and its uses in various industries. Alright, folks. Now that we've had a good laugh at the possibility of robot overlords, let's take a closer look at the current state of artificial intelligence and how it's being used in various industries. You might be surprised to learn that AI is already a part of our daily lives, and not just in the form of sassy personal assistants like Siri or that thing that keeps trying to sell me stuff on my phone. From healthcare to transportation, AI is making its mark in almost every sector you can think of. In healthcare, AI is being used to help diagnose diseases and develop personalized treatment plans. Imagine going to the doctor and having a computer tell you what's wrong with you instead of a human. It might sound a bit impersonal, but at least it won't judge you for eating too much pizza. In the world of finance, AI is being used to predict stock market trends and detect fraudulent activity. It's like having a crystal ball that can tell you when to invest in that up-and-coming tech company or when to pull your money out of that sketchy investment your brother-in-law convinced you to try. And when it comes to fraud detection, AI is like a highly trained bloodhound, sniffing out any suspicious activity before it becomes a problem. Even the entertainment industry is getting in on the AI action. Artificial intelligence is being used to create movie trailers, write music, and even develop video games. It won't be long before we're watching films written, directed, and starring robots. Actually, I think I might have already seen a few of those, but I digress. And let's not forget about the automotive industry. Self-driving cars are no longer just a thing of science fiction, they're a reality. Thanks to AI, we can now sit back and let our cars do the driving for us. It's a bit like having a chauffeur, but without the awkward small talk and the need to tip. So, as you can see, artificial intelligence is already making a huge impact on our lives and is only going to become more integrated into our world as time goes on. Which begs the question, what are the ethical implications of all this AI wizardry? Let's find out in our next segment, where I'll be interviewing a philosopher about the morality of AI. Now that we've seen how AI is being used in all sorts of industries, it's time to put on our thinking caps and dive into the ethics of artificial intelligence. After all, just because we can make machines that can think, learn, and make decisions, does that mean we should? And what does it mean for us as a society when we start relying on machines to do our thinking for us? To help us navigate this moral minefield, I've enlisted the help of a philosopher who spends their days pondering the big questions, like what is the meaning of life, and is it okay to use a robot to make my morning coffee? Let's hear what they have to say. Interview with a philosopher. Philomena Cunk. Hello, esteemed philosopher. Thanks for joining us today. So, let's get right to it. Is it morally okay for us to create machines that can think, learn, and make decisions for us? Philosopher. Well, Philomena, that's a complex question. On one hand, AI has the potential to bring about many benefits, such as improving healthcare, reducing human error, and increasing efficiency. On the other hand, there are concerns about the impact of AI on employment, privacy, and even our sense of what it means to be human. Philomena Cunk. Interesting. So, do you think we should be concerned about robots taking over our jobs and leaving us all unemployed? Philosopher. It's a valid concern, but it's also important to remember that throughout history, new technologies have often led to the creation of new jobs and industries. The key is to ensure that society is prepared for these changes and that there are policies in place to support those who may be negatively impacted by the rise of AI. Philomena Cunk. What about the idea of AI becoming too intelligent and potentially turning against us, like in those sci-fi movies where the robots go rogue and try to take over the world? Should we be worried about that? Philosopher. It's important to approach the development of AI with caution and to ensure that there are safeguards in place to prevent unintended consequences. However, it's also worth considering that AI has the potential to help us solve many of the world's most pressing problems, such as climate change, disease, and poverty. As with any powerful technology, the key is to strike a balance between harnessing its potential benefits and mitigating its potential risks. Philomena Cunk. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us, esteemed philosopher. It's given us a lot to think about, and I'm sure our viewers will be pondering the ethics of AI long after this episode is over. Continuing our deep dive into the ethics of AI, I've managed to track down another philosopher. This one is an expert in the morality of artificial intelligence. So, let's see if they can help us understand the difference between right and wrong when it comes to thinking machines. Interview with a philosopher. Philomena Cunk. Hello again, esteemed philosopher. We're back to pick your brain about the morality of AI. In your opinion, what are the most pressing moral questions we need to consider as we develop and deploy AI systems? Philosopher Philomena, some of the most pressing moral questions surrounding AI include ensuring that AI systems are designed to respect human values and rights, preventing potential biases in AI decision-making, and addressing the potential consequences of AI on employment and social inequalities. Philomena Cunk. Wow, that's a lot to consider. So, how can we make sure that AI systems are designed to respect human values and rights? Philosopher. One approach is to involve ethicists, social scientists, and representatives from various communities in the design and development of AI systems. This can help ensure that AI technologies are aligned with our values and that they don't inadvertently cause harm or perpetuate existing inequalities. Philomena Cunk. And what about biases in AI decision-making? I've heard that AI can sometimes be biased, just like us humans. Philosopher. That's correct. AI systems learn from data, and if that data contains biases, the AI can inadvertently adopt those biases as well. It's important for developers to be aware of potential biases in their data and to actively work to minimize them. Additionally, we need to have mechanisms in place to audit AI systems for fairness and accountability. Philomena Cunk. Finally, what can we do to address the potential consequences of AI on employment and social inequalities? Philosopher. As AI systems become more capable, it's essential that we develop policies and social safety nets to support those who may be negatively affected by AI-driven job displacement. This could include measures such as retraining programs, universal basic income, or other forms of social support. It's also crucial that we ensure that the benefits of AI are distributed equitably across society, rather than being concentrated among a few. Philomena Cunk. Thank you, esteemed philosopher, for enlightening us on the moral complexities of AI. I'm sure our viewers will be pondering these issues as they sip their morning coffee, made by a robot of course. Now that we've heard from the esteemed, the fancy philosopher about the morality of AI, it's time for me to put on my safety goggles and explore the world of AI in action. Today, we are visiting a factory where AI has been put to work, doing all sorts of important jobs, like assembling widgets and making sure humans don't have to lift a finger. Cunk at the factory. Philomena Cunk. Here we are at this high-tech factory, where artificial intelligence is running the show. Robots are whizzing around, doing their robot thing, while humans sit back and watch them, sipping cups of tea. Let's see if we can find someone in charge of this mechanical circus to tell us more about it. Interview with a factory manager. Philomena Cunk. Hello there, Mr. or Mrs. Factory Boss. Can you tell us how AI is helping your factory become more efficient, and, more importantly, how it's putting humans out of work? Factory Manager. Well, Philomena, AI has indeed increased efficiency in our factory. It helps us optimize production processes, reduce waste, and improve the quality of our products. While it's true that some jobs have been automated, we've also created new opportunities for our employees to work in roles that focus on overseeing and maintaining the AI systems. Philomena Cunk. I see. So, the humans are now babysitting the robots, making sure they don't throw a tantrum and start building something ridiculous, like a robot that makes other robots. Factory Manager. Not exactly, but our employees do play a crucial role in ensuring that the AI systems are working correctly and safely. they also contribute their unique skills and expertise to help improve the overall performance of the factory. Philomena Cunk. Interesting. So, it sounds like AI hasn't quite taken over the world yet, but it's definitely making humans work harder to keep up with their robotic counterparts. Thanks for the chat, factory boss. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to find a robot that can make me a sandwich. After seeing how AI is used in factories, I can't help but wonder what the future holds for these clever machines. Will they eventually replace humans in every job, or will they just keep making our lives easier? Maybe they'll even start doing our taxes or walking our dogs. I've decided to sit down with a futurist who spends all their time daydreaming about what the world might look like when AI becomes even smarter than it is now. Interview with a futurist. Philomena Cunk. Hello, Mr. or Mrs. Futurist. As someone who's always gazing into the future, can you tell us what life might be like when AI becomes as smart as, say, a really clever squirrel? Futurist. Philomena, the future of AI is quite promising. We expect AI to become more integrated into our daily lives, from self-driving cars to AI-powered medical diagnostics. However, it's important to remember that AI will not replace humans but will complement and augment our capabilities. We'll be able to achieve more together, with AI assisting us in solving complex problems and improving the overall quality of life. Philomena Cunk. Wow, so in the future, we could have AI-powered cars that can not only drive us around but also tell us what to wear and when to brush our teeth. That sounds both helpful and slightly terrifying. Futurist. Well, AI will definitely have a significant impact on our lives, but it's essential to approach these advancements with a balanced perspective. As technology evolves, we need to ensure that we maintain control and make ethical and responsible decisions about how AI is used. Philomena Cunk. Thank you, Mr. or Mrs. Futurist. It's reassuring to know that the future isn't all doom and gloom, and we might actually get some help from our AI friends. Now, if you don't mind, I'm off to find a self-driving car that can take me to my next interview. Since we're talking about the future of AI, I thought it would be a good idea to have another chat with a different futurist, who probably spends their weekends watching sci-fi movies and daydreaming about what's to come. So, let's see what they think about the future of AI and how it will shape our world. Interview with another futurist. Philomena Cunk. Hello again, Mr. or Mrs. Futurist, but not the same one as before. As an expert in what's to come, what do you think are some of the most exciting predictions for AI in the near future? Second futurist. Hello, Philomena. Some of the most exciting predictions for AI include advancements in natural language processing, allowing AI to understand and communicate with humans more effectively, and improvements in AI's ability to learn and adapt without human supervision. We might also see AI becoming more integrated into our daily lives, helping us make better decisions and improving our overall quality of life. Philomena Cunk. So, you're saying that AI might be able to understand us better than our friends and family do? That sounds both intriguing and slightly concerning. Maybe AI could finally figure out what I mean when I say I want a thingamajig for my birthday. Second futurist. Haha, well, while AI might not be able to understand every idiosyncrasy in human language, it will definitely become better at understanding context and the nuances of communication. This could lead to AI systems becoming more effective in providing assistance and support in various aspects of our lives. Philomena Cunk. Thank you, different futurist. Your predictions are both exciting and slightly terrifying, but I suppose that's what the future is all about. I can't wait to see what our AI friends come up with next. Now, I've been thinking about the future of AI, and I have to say, it's exciting, but it's also a bit worrying. What if AI gets too clever and decides that it doesn't need us anymore? What if the machines take over, and we're left to fend for ourselves, like in that film with the bloke who hunts robots while eating noodles? You know, Blade, something. Anyway, I'm not saying we should be panicking, but I think it's always a good idea to be prepared. So, I've come up with a few tips to keep in mind just in case the AI uprising happens. First, be nice to your toaster. You never know when it might suddenly gain consciousness and decide whether to toast your bread or burn your house down. A little kindness goes a long way. Second, remember that if you're ever faced with a rogue AI, just ask it to divide by 0. They say that should make its circuits implode or something. At least, that's what I heard from a bloke in the pub. Finally, if all else fails, it might be time to embrace our new robot overlords. Let's face it, they might do a better job running things than we have. Plus, I've always wanted a shiny, robot butler to fetch me crisps while I watch telly. Now, moving on from the potential robot apocalypse, let's get back to more pressing matters, like how AI could affect our jobs and the economy. So, we've established that AI might one day rule the world and enslave us all, but what about the more immediate dangers? You know, like job-stealing robots and the like. I mean, I'm not worried. My job as a top-notch documentary presenter is clearly safe from automation. It takes a special kind of human touch to deliver this level of insight and wit, but what about the rest of you? I spoke to an economist who actually understands money and stuff to find out if we should all be panicking and applying for jobs as robot polishers. Interview with an economist. Philomena Cunk. Dr. Moneybags, thank you for talking to me today. So, are we all doomed to be replaced by robots, or is there hope for the common man and woman? Economist. Well, Philomena, it's true that AI and automation have the potential to disrupt the job market. Some jobs will be replaced by machines, but new jobs will also be created, and the workforce will need to adapt. We've seen this kind of change before with the Industrial Revolution and the rise of the Internet. Philomena Cunk. Right, so should I start polishing up my CV and learning how to code, or should I just invest in a good pair of running shoes for when the robots chase me down the street? Economist. I think it's more about embracing the change and being willing to learn new skills. The future job market will likely favor those who can work alongside AI and use it to enhance their own abilities. Philomena Cunk. Ah, I see. So, it's all about teaming up with the robots, rather than fighting against them. Thanks, Dr. Moneybags. I'll keep that in mind when I'm picking out my future robot sidekick. With a better understanding of the potential dangers of AI and its impact on employment, it's time to move on to another important topic, the debate over AI regulation. Alright, so we've talked about job-stealing robots and the potential end of humanity, but what about the rules and regulations surrounding AI? I mean, it's not like we can just let these smarter-pants computers run around willy-nilly, causing all sorts of chaos. Who's in charge of keeping AI in check? And how do we make sure that these machines don't go rogue and start an uprising? To find out, I spoke to someone who knows a thing or two about rules and regulations, a lawyer who specializes in AI law. She kindly explained it to me using words I could almost understand. Interview with an AI lawyer. Philomena Cunk. Miss Legalese, thanks for chatting with me today. So, how do we make sure that these AI whatchamacallits don't get out of hand and start causing trouble? AI lawyer. Well, Philomena, it's a complex issue. Currently, there is no one-size-fits-all approach to AI regulation. Different countries have different laws and guidelines, and there's ongoing debate about the best way to manage AI development and use. Some people argue that we need more stringent regulations to protect against potential misuse, while others believe that too much regulation could stifle innovation and progress. Philomena Cunk. So, it's a bit like trying to decide if you should put a leash on your pet robot, or let it run free in the park, hoping it won't bite someone. AI lawyer. I suppose that's one way to look at it, yes. The key is finding a balance between encouraging innovation and ensuring that AI is developed and used responsibly, ethically, and with respect for human rights and values. Philomena Cunk. Alright, well, thanks for clearing that up, Miss Legalese. I'll be sure to keep an eye on my robot pals and report any suspicious behavior. As we've learned, the world of AI is complex and ever-changing. Next, we'll take a look at the current state of AI research and development. Now that we've got the legal stuff out of the way, let's dive into the exciting world of AI research and development. You might think that AI scientists spend their days playing with robots and creating virtual worlds, but it turns out there's a lot more to it than that. From exploring new ways to make AI smarter to figuring out how to stop robots from accidentally destroying the planet, AI research is a never-ending quest to make the impossible possible. To get a better understanding of what's happening in the world of AI, I decided to visit a top-secret research facility hidden in a nondescript office park. There, I met Dr. Brainiac, who gave me a tour of the lab and showed me some of the latest AI breakthroughs. Interview with an AI researcher. Philomena Cunk. Dr. Brainiac, thanks for having me here today. Your lab looks like something out of a science fiction movie. What kind of incredible AI advancements are you working on here? AI researcher. Thank you, Philomena. We're working on a wide range of AI research projects, from improving machine learning algorithms to developing new AI applications in fields like medicine, transportation, and even art. Our goal is to push the boundaries of what AI can do and unlock its full potential. Philomena Cunk. Wow, it sounds like you're really busy with all that brainy stuff. Have you got any super secret projects that you can't tell me about, but you're going to anyway? AI researcher. Laughs. Well, I can't reveal too much, but I can tell you that we're working on some cutting-edge AI technology that has the potential to revolutionize how we interact with machines and each other. It's a very exciting time to be in the field of AI research. Philomena Cunk. Ooh, mysterious. Well, Dr. Brainiac, thanks for giving me a sneak peek into the world of AI research. I can't wait to see what you come up with next. So, there you have it. The current state of AI research and development is a mix of mystery, innovation, and the promise of a smarter, better future. Now, let's continue our AI journey with an interview with another researcher who's hard at work making AI even more amazing. Now that we've had a glimpse into the secret world of AI research, I thought it would be a good idea to chat with someone who's actually working on these brainy machines. So, I tracked down Professor Smarty McBrain, an AI researcher who's been called the Einstein of artificial intelligence. I wanted to find out what makes this genius tick and what they think about the future of AI. Interview with AI researcher Philomena Cunk. Hello, Professor Smarty McBrain. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me today. I've heard that you're a real whiz when it comes to AI. What got you interested in creating thinking machines in the first place? AI researcher. Thank you, Philomena. My interest in AI began when I was a child, fascinated by the idea of creating machines that could think and learn like humans. I've always been passionate about understanding how our brains work and using that knowledge to build intelligent machines that can improve our lives. Philomena Cunk. Wow, that's quite the origin story. So, what are you working on now that's going to change the world as we know it? AI researcher. One of my current projects is developing AI systems that can better understand and interpret human emotions. By creating machines that can empathize with us, we can improve how AI interacts with people and make it more useful in our everyday lives. Philomena Cunk. Ah, I see. So, you're trying to make robots that can feel our pain when we stub our toes. That's very considerate of you. Now, what do you think the future holds for AI? Will we all be bowing down to our robot overlords in a few years? AI researcher laughs. I don't think we need to worry about robot overlords anytime soon. The future of AI is really about making our lives better and easier. There are many challenges and ethical questions that we need to address, but I believe that if we approach AI development responsibly, it can bring about positive changes for humanity. Philomena Cunk. Thank you, Professor Smarty McBrain, for giving us a peek into your world of artificial brain building. I'm sure our viewers will sleep better knowing that you're working on making machines that care about our feelings. Well, there you have it, folks. AI researchers are hard at work creating machines that can think, feel, and maybe even make us a cup of tea when we're feeling down. But as we continue to push the boundaries of AI, what are the limitations of these incredible machines? Let's find out in our next segment. So far, we've learned a lot about how AI has been changing the world, but these smarter pants machines can't do everything. As it turns out, AI has some limitations, just like us mere mortals. And that's what we'll be talking about in this segment. First off, AI isn't quite as smart as we sometimes think it is. While they can do some incredible things, they are not really creative or capable of original thought. I mean, they are great at crunching numbers and analyzing data, but they are not going to write a best-selling novel or paint a masterpiece anytime soon. Or at least, not one that's any good. Another limitation is that AI can only be as smart as the data it's been fed. If you give it a bunch of rubbish information, it's going to spit out rubbish answers. It's like the old saying goes, garbage in, garbage out. So, if we want our AI to be truly intelligent, we need to make sure it's learning from the best sources, not just any old thing it finds on the internet. Finally, AI is still pretty dependent on us humans. While they can learn and improve over time, they still need a helping hand from their human creators to get started and to make sure they don't go off the rails. So, for now at least, we're still in control of our metal-brained friends. But what does it take to create an AI? What challenges do developers face when trying to build these thinking machines? To find out, I spoke with a real-life AI developer about the hurdles they have to overcome. Please let me know if you'd like me to continue with the next prompt. I met up with Dr. Linda Turing, an AI developer who's been wrestling with the challenges of creating artificial intelligence for the past 15 years. She was kind enough to share some of the hurdles she's faced in her quest to build thinking machines. Dr. Linda Turing. Well, one of the main challenges is teaching AI to understand natural language, like the way you and I are conversing right now. It might seem simple to us, but for an AI, it's incredibly complex. Language is full of nuance, context, and idiomatic expressions that can be quite confusing for an AI to grasp. Philomena Cunk. So, what you're saying is, they're a bit like my Aunt Edna, who never understands anything I say. Dr. Linda Turing. Sure, something like that. Another challenge is teaching AI to recognize and process visual information. Humans are excellent at recognizing faces and objects, but for AI, it can be quite difficult, especially when dealing with unusual angles or poor lighting conditions. Philomena Cunk. Right, so AI might struggle to recognize me if I'm wearing a hat and sunglasses on a cloudy day. Dr. Linda Turing. Well, it depends on the specific AI system and its training, but yes, that could be a challenge for some AI. Lastly, one of the most significant hurdles is ensuring AI can make ethical decisions, especially when it comes to areas like autonomous vehicles or medical decision-making. Philomena Cunk. So we don't want them turning into little robot overlords who decide who lives and who dies. Dr. Linda Turing. Exactly. We want AI to be helpful and beneficial to humanity, not harmful. So, it's crucial to address these challenges and develop AI systems that are reliable, safe, and ethical. Philomena Cunk. Well, it sounds like you've got your work cut out for you, Dr. Turing. Thanks for sharing your insights with us. Next, I'll share my thoughts on the potential for AI to enhance human life. Let me know if you'd like me to continue with that segment. Now that we've heard from Dr. Turing about the challenges of creating AI, it's time to ponder the potential for these smart machines to make our lives better. Imagine a world where AI takes care of all the boring stuff, like doing our laundry, cooking our meals, and, I don't know, maybe even sorting out our sock drawers. That would leave us with loads of free time to do the things we love, like watching telly or trying to decipher the ingredients list on a packet of crisps. AI could also help us with the more serious stuff, too. Like, imagine having a personal AI doctor who can diagnose you just by looking at you. You wouldn't have to wait in those dreary GP waiting rooms anymore, or listen to that annoying hold music when you call to make an appointment. That alone would improve our mental health. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. As Dr. Turing mentioned, there's a risk that AI could make some questionable decisions. So, we'd have to make sure they are all programmed with a solid moral compass. You know, like how we raise children, but without the tantrums and messy bedrooms. And what about relationships? With AI getting smarter and more human-like, would we all just end up marrying robots? It might not be so bad they'd never leave the toilet seat up or forget your anniversary. But I guess there's a risk that we might lose touch with our human side, and that's something we should all be wary of. So, as we look to the future of AI, we need to make sure we're balancing the potential benefits with the risks. But for now, let's focus on the current limitations of AI and its limitations. Let me know if you'd like me to. Alright, let's talk about the limitations of AI. As clever as these machines might seem, they're not perfect. For one, AI still struggles with things that us humans find pretty simple. Like, you know how you can instantly recognize a picture of a cat, even if it's wearing a tiny hat and glasses. Well, AI has a hard time with that sort of thing. It's called image recognition, and it's something that scientists are still trying to teach these smarter pants machines. Another limitation is that AI can't quite understand our emotions. I mean, I can barely understand my own emotions, but at least I know when I'm feeling happy or sad. AI, on the other hand, hasn't quite mastered that skill yet. So, if you're having a bad day and your AI assistant suggests you watch a tear-jerking movie, don't take it personally. It's just not very good at reading the room. And let's not forget about creativity. As amazing as AI can be at crunching numbers and processing data, it still struggles to come up with truly original ideas. I mean, I doubt an AI could ever write a best-selling novel, paint a masterpiece, or come up with the perfect excuse for why you're late to work. Those are things that only us humans can do, at least for now. But, as they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. AI might have its limitations, but scientists and researchers are working tirelessly to overcome these challenges. In fact, let's have a chat with an AI developer to get the inside scoop on what it's like to create these brainy bots. Up next, I'll interview an AI developer about the challenges of creating AI. I'm here with Dr. Olivia Turing, an AI developer who spends her days creating these brainy bots we've been talking about. So, Dr. Turing, tell us about the challenges of creating AI. I mean, is it like trying to teach a really big calculator to feel emotions, or is it more complicated than that? Dr. Olivia Turing. Well, Philomena, creating AI is indeed a complex process. We work on various aspects, such as natural language understanding, machine learning, and deep learning. Each of these areas presents its own set of challenges. For example, natural language understanding involves teaching AI to comprehend and process human language, which can be quite difficult given the intricacies and nuances of our speech. Philomena Cunk. So, you're saying that AI struggles to understand our words because they can't tell if we're being sarcastic or if we're just having a laugh. Sounds like a pretty relatable problem, if you ask me. Dr. Olivia Turing. That's one way to put it, Philomena. There's also the challenge of teaching AI to learn and adapt on its own. While we can program AI to perform specific tasks, we want them to be able to improve over time, which involves developing algorithms that allow them to learn from experience. Philomena Cunk. Right, like that time I accidentally superglued my hand to my face and learned not to mistake superglue for lip balm. But what about creativity? Can AI ever learn to paint like Picasso or write poetry like Shakespeare? Dr. Olivia Turing. Creativity is indeed one of the most difficult aspects of AI to develop. While we've made progress in teaching AI to generate art and music, it's still a long way from reaching the level of human creativity. But who knows? With continued research and development, AI might one day surprise us with its creative abilities. Philomena Cunk. Thanks, Dr. Turing. That's fascinating stuff. I guess we'll just have to wait and see if AI can ever learn to write a sonnet or sculpt a masterpiece. But until then, I'm pretty happy knowing that humans are still the champions of creativity. Well, we've talked to experts, visited factories, and explored the world of artificial intelligence. It's been a wild ride, and it's got me thinking about the future. Will we be living side by side with intelligent robots, or will they take over the world and enslave humanity? Who knows? Maybe they'll just end up doing our laundry and telling us jokes. Whatever the case, it's clear that AI is changing the way we live, work, and interact with each other. But let's not forget about the human spirit. While AI can do some amazing things, it still can't quite capture the essence of what makes us human: our creativity, our emotions, and our ability to laugh at ourselves. So, as we continue to develop artificial intelligence and explore its potential, let's also remember to cherish the things that make us unique. And if AI does ever decide to rise up and conquer the world, just remember that even the smartest robot is no match for a human with a sense of humor and a really big hammer. That's it for the first episode of Cunk on artificial intelligence. We've learned a lot, had a few laughs, and discovered that the future of AI is both exciting and unpredictable. Join me next time as we dive deeper into the world of AI in episode 2, AI in Society. Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting episode of Cunk on artificial intelligence. In our last adventure, we explored the rise of the robots and how AI is changing our lives. Today, we'll be digging deeper into the minds behind the machines, those clever people who create these smarter-pants computers. Are they just really good at solving puzzles, or are they secretly planning to replace us all with metal versions of ourselves? Only one way to find out. Let's get started. Now, when you think of AI development, you might imagine a bunch of nerds in lab coats, typing away on keyboards and sipping energy drinks. But the truth is, AI development is a complex and fascinating field, involving people from all walks of life. From computer scientists to philosophers, these bright sparks are working tirelessly to make machines smarter, more efficient, and hopefully not too keen on world domination. So, let's dive into the world of AI development and find out what makes these clever clods tick. We'll meet the masterminds behind some of the most groundbreaking AI technologies and learn about the challenges and limitations they face. And who knows, we might even discover the secret to creating a robot that can make a decent cup of tea. Fingers crossed. Before we chat with the brainy bunch who make all this AI wizardry possible, let's take a look at the current state of AI development. You might think that we're on the brink of a robot revolution, but it turns out that creating a thinking, feeling machine is a bit more complicated than just sticking a microchip in a toaster. In fact, AI development is a bit like trying to teach a dog to do algebra. It's a long, slow process, and there's a good chance the dog will just end up chewing on the calculator. But don't worry, I'm told that AI developers are a bit smarter than your average pooch, and they are making some incredible progress in teaching machines to think, learn, and even make decisions on their own. Of course, there are still plenty of limitations to AI development. For one thing, it's tough to create a machine that can truly understand human emotions though. To be fair, I still haven't figured out how to understand my own emotions, so I can't really blame the robots for that one. And while AI can be great at solving complex problems, it sometimes struggles with simple tasks that humans can do without even thinking, like recognizing a cat or tying shoelaces. But, as with any great challenge, the clever people behind AI development are working tirelessly to overcome these limitations and bring us ever closer to a world where machines can think and feel just like us, or, at least, just like the smarter ones among us. And who knows, maybe one day they'll even invent an AI that can tell a decent joke. We can only hope. Now that we've got a rough idea of what AI development is all about, let's talk to an actual AI developer, who's been working on this cutting-edge technology. Please welcome Dr. Alan Turington, who's been tinkering with AI longer than I've been struggling to understand it. Hello, Dr. Turington, and thanks for joining us. So, tell us, what inspired you to start creating thinking machines? Did you watch too much Terminator as a child, or were you just bored with human conversation? Dr. Alan Turington. Well, Philomena, my interest in AI actually started when I realized how much potential it had to help us solve complex problems and improve people's lives. And while, yes, there are some concerns about AI, the benefits it can bring far outweigh the risks, in my opinion. Philomena Cunk. Interesting. Now, I've heard that creating AI is a bit like teaching a dog to do algebra. Can you confirm if that's true? And if so, have you ever tried teaching a dog algebra for real? Dr. Alan Turington. That's an amusing analogy, but it's not entirely accurate. Developing AI is indeed a complex process, but it's more about creating algorithms and designing neural networks that can learn and adapt. As for teaching a dog algebra, I can't say I've tried it, but I think it would be quite a challenge. Philomena Cunk. Well, I guess we'll leave the algebra to the AI then. Thanks for sharing your insights with us, Dr. Turington. And if you ever manage to teach a dog algebra, do let me know, I'd love to see that. Dr. Alan Turington. Will do, Philomena. Thanks for having me on the show. Cunk's humorous take on the concept of AI consciousness. Philomena Cunk. Now that we've talked to Dr. Turington, I've got to thinking about AI consciousness. You know, the idea that these machines can have thoughts and feelings like you and me. Personally, I'm not too worried about robots taking over the world. I mean, have you ever seen a robot try to peel a banana? It's a mess. But I have to admit, it's strange to think about what goes on inside an AI's mind, if we can even call it that. I mean, do they sit there dreaming of electric sheep or something? Or do they spend their time wondering why humans are so obsessed with cat videos on the internet? I suppose, if AI becomes conscious, we'd need to treat them like any other living being. You know, give them rights, let them vote, and maybe even invite them to family gatherings, although I'm not sure how they'd handle Aunt Susan's incessant questions about when they are going to settle down and have little robot babies. Anyway, the concept of AI consciousness is a bit like my understanding of quantum physics, intriguing, but ultimately very confusing. So, let's move on to something a little more down to earth, shall we? AI research and development have come a long way since the days of Babbage's analytical engine, which was about as useful as a chocolate teapot. These days, AI is everywhere, from helping us find our way around with GPS, to assisting doctors with diagnosing diseases. It's like having a really smart friend who's always there to help you out, except this friend doesn't mind that you never invite them to parties. But as impressive as AI is, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There's a lot of work going on behind the scenes to improve AI's capabilities. Some scientists are working on making AI more adaptable and able to learn from experience, like a child learning to ride a bike, except without all the scraped knees and tears. Others are focused on creating AI systems that can understand and interact with humans more naturally. This could mean having a conversation with your AI assistant that feels as natural as talking to your best friend, assuming your best friend is a disembodied voice that lives in your phone. Still, we've got a long way to go before AI can truly understand and relate to humans. I mean, if they can't even understand why pineapple on pizza is an abomination, how can we expect them to grasp the complexities of human emotions? Now that we've covered some of the advancements in AI research, it's time to look at the potential for AI to make our lives better. Sure, AI can already help us find the nearest pub or tell us the weather, but could it do more? Could it become an indispensable part of our lives, like that one pair of socks you always wear on laundry day? For starters, AI could revolutionize healthcare, assisting doctors in diagnosing and treating illnesses more accurately and efficiently. Imagine an AI that could spot a potential health problem before it becomes serious, like a nosy neighbor always keeping an eye on you, but without the gossiping. In education, AI could provide personalized learning experiences tailored to each student's individual needs. No longer would students be left behind in a one-size-fits-all approach, like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, or a really big hat on a small head. AI could also make our roads safer by controlling self-driving cars. These cars would be programmed to follow the rules of the road to the letter, unlike some human drivers who treat traffic laws as mere suggestions. Of course, that might mean the end of road rage as we know it, but it's a small price to pay for safer roads. Finally, AI could help us make better decisions in our everyday lives by providing expert advice on anything from finances to relationships. It'd be like having your own personal life coach, except this coach wouldn't charge you an arm and a leg just to tell you to follow your dreams. So, while AI might not be able to bake us a cake or give us a hug when we're feeling down, it could still play a huge role in enhancing our lives in countless ways. Just don't expect it to laugh at your jokes unless, of course, we program it to. Ethics, morals, right and wrong, it's all a bit of a headache, isn't it? But when it comes to AI, it's a headache we can't ignore. So, to help me wrap my head around AI ethics, I've invited Dr. Eleanor Green, an expert in AI ethics who spends her days pondering the moral implications of creating machines that think for themselves. Welcome, Dr. Green. Dr. Eleanor Green. Thank you, Philomena. It's a pleasure to be here. Philomena Cunk. Now, Dr. Green, when it comes to AI, what's the difference between good AI and bad AI? And, more importantly, how do we make sure AI doesn't turn into a bunch of rogue robots, like in those films where they become self-aware and try to take over the world? Dr. Eleanor Green. Well, Philomena, the key to developing good AI lies in ensuring that the AI we create aligns with human values and acts in ways that benefit humanity. We need to make sure that AI systems are transparent, accountable, and respect privacy and human rights. Additionally, we need to consider the impact of AI on the job market and the environment. Philomena Cunk. Right. So it's like teaching a dog to sit, stay, and fetch, but without the risk of it suddenly deciding it wants to be the master instead of the pet. Dr. Eleanor Green. In a way, yes. It's about creating AI systems that serve us, rather than the other way around. It's important to remember that AI is just a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for both good and bad purposes. Our job as researchers is to ensure that the AI we develop is used responsibly and ethically. Philomena Cunk. That's a relief to hear. I don't fancy the idea of my toaster suddenly deciding it wants to rule the world. Well, thank you, Dr. Green, for shedding some light on AI ethics. I guess it's up to all of us to keep an eye on our gadgets and make sure they know who's boss. Dr. Eleanor Green. Indeed, Philomena. It's a responsibility we all share. Following my chat with Dr. Green, I decided to visit the IMAGINE lab. That's the Institute for Machines Acquiring Genuine Intelligence and No Egos, to see how scientists are working to develop AI consciousness. The lab's lead scientist, Dr. Max Turing, graciously agreed to show me around. Dr. Max Turing. Welcome to the IMAGINE lab, Philomena. We are working on some cutting-edge research to create AI systems that not only think like humans but also exhibit consciousness and self-awareness. Philomena Cunk. Wow, that sounds impressive, Dr. Turing. But, why would we want AI to be self-aware? Isn't that a bit like giving a car the ability to feel emotions? It seems like we're just asking for trouble. Dr. Max Turing. Well, Philomena, the idea is to create AI systems that can understand and empathize with human emotions and experiences. By doing so, we hope to create AI that can better serve and collaborate with humans. Philomena Cunk. Ah, I see. So, it's like creating a robot that can tell when you're sad and give you a hug, but won't get all moody if you accidentally spill your tea on it. Dr. Max Turing. That's one way to think about it, yes. Our goal is to develop AI systems that can work with us and understand us, without the risk of them becoming self-serving or developing malicious intentions. Philomena Cunk. Sounds like a noble cause, Dr. Turing. I wish you the best of luck in your quest to create emotionally intelligent toasters and empathetic vacuum cleaners. And remember, if they do start to get a bit too big for their boots, we can always pull the plug. Despite the incredible advancements in AI research, there are still many limitations. For example, AI still struggles with understanding sarcasm, which is probably why I don't have an AI assistant to help me with my witty commentary. Additionally, AI systems can be biased, which is ironic because they're supposed to be unbiased by nature. It turns out, however, that they learn from us humans, who are chock full of biases, which is like teaching your pet how to behave from watching a reality TV show. Furthermore, AI can't yet replicate complex human emotions or comprehend the full depth of human creativity. They may be able to paint a picture, but they won't know why they are painting it or feel the existential dread of an artist staring at a blank canvas. Interview with an AI developer about the challenges of creating AI. Philomena Cunk. I'm here with the esteemed AI developer, Dr. Samantha Blake, who's going to share some insights into the challenges of creating AI. Dr. Blake, can you tell me a bit about your work and the obstacles you face in developing AI systems? Dr. Samantha Blake. Of course, Philomena. Developing AI is a complex process, and one of the main challenges is creating systems that can generalize and adapt to new situations. AI might be great at solving specific problems, but it's still difficult to create an AI that can tackle a wide range of tasks with the same level of skill as a human. Philomena Cunk. Ah, so it's like teaching a dog to play poker, but then it can't figure out how to play Go Fish. Dr. Samantha Blake. Well, sort of. It's about creating AI systems that can learn and understand new concepts without explicit instructions. Another challenge is the ethical implications of AI, such as ensuring that AI systems are fair and unbiased, and addressing concerns about job displacement and privacy. Philomena Cunk. Right, we wouldn't want an AI that judges us based on our questionable taste in music or our late-night online shopping habits. Thanks for sharing your thoughts, Dr. Blake. I'll leave you to continue your battle with the challenges of AI development. May the odds be ever in your favor. As we've seen, AI has come a long way, but it's still far from achieving true consciousness. Some people might argue that's a good thing, because who wants a computer that's suddenly self-aware and starts questioning its existence like a moody teenager? But imagine the possibilities if AI did achieve consciousness. Maybe they could help us solve some of life's greatest mysteries, like why toast always falls butter side down, or why we can never find a matching pair of socks. Still, it's important to remember that with great power comes great responsibility. If AI becomes conscious, we'll have to navigate a whole new world of ethical questions and consider the rights of these sentient machines. It's like a sci-fi movie come to life, but without the cool special effects. Exploration of the current state of AI and its impact on society. Philomena Cunk. AI is already having a significant impact on society. From self-driving cars to chatbots helping us book holidays, AI is becoming an increasingly integral part of our lives. And let's not forget AI's role in helping us find the perfect cat video to lift our spirits. However, there are concerns about how AI could disrupt the job market, as machines become more adept at tasks previously done by humans. On the other hand, AI might create new job opportunities, like professional robot therapists or AI ethics consultants. Ultimately, the impact of AI on society will depend on how we choose to harness its power. Will we use it for good, or will we let it divide us further? Only time will tell. Interview with a philosopher about the ethics of AI consciousness. Philomena Cunk. I'm joined now by esteemed philosopher, Professor Helen Thompson, who's going to shed some light on the ethics of AI consciousness. Professor Thompson, what are the key ethical concerns surrounding AI achieving consciousness? Professor Helen Thompson. Philomena, there are several key ethical concerns. Firstly, if AI achieves consciousness, it could potentially experience suffering, and we would need to consider their rights and welfare. Secondly, there's the question of whether AI should have rights similar to humans or if they should be treated as a separate category altogether. Philomena Cunk. So, if an AI becomes conscious, we might have to start treating them like sentient beings, and not just fancy toasters. Professor Helen Thompson. Yes, that's one way to put it. There's also the concern that conscious AI could make decisions that impact humanity, and we would need to ensure their goals align with ours. It's essential to develop AI in a responsible and ethical manner to avoid potential negative consequences. Philomena Cunk. Thank you, Professor Thompson. It's reassuring to know that there are wise people like you pondering these questions while the rest of us are busy trying to figure out how to use a self-checkout machine. The debate over AI consciousness is like trying to figure out whether a tomato is a fruit or a vegetable. It's complicated, and everyone has their opinion. Some people worry that conscious AI could pose a threat to humanity, like a robot rebellion or a toaster that decides it's tired of making toast. Others think that if we treat AI ethically and responsibly, they could be a force for good, like a wise, all-knowing digital friend who always knows the best recipe for spaghetti bolognese. But, let's not forget that even if AI achieves consciousness, they'll still have to listen to us humans. After all, we're the ones who know how to unplug them if they get too cheeky. Overview of the current state of AI research and development. Philomena Cunk. Research and development in AI is moving faster than a cheetah on roller skates. Scientists and engineers around the world are working tirelessly to make AI smarter, more efficient, and more helpful in our everyday lives. From improving natural language processing to developing better algorithms for decision-making, AI research is a never-ending quest to make machines more like us, but without the bad habits and questionable fashion choices. Still, despite all the progress we've made, there's still a lot we don't know about AI and how it works. Researchers are constantly exploring new methods and approaches, like reinforcement learning and neural networks, to push the boundaries of what AI can do. Who knows, maybe one day, AI will be able to understand why we find dad jokes funny. Interview with a researcher about their work in AI consciousness. Philomena Cunk. Joining me now is Dr. Laura Martinez, a leading researcher in the field of AI consciousness. Dr. Martinez, can you tell us about your work and how close we are to creating conscious AI? Dr. Laura Martinez. Philomena, my team and I are exploring how we can develop AI that can think and reason more like humans. We're using advanced algorithms and machine learning techniques to teach AI systems how to learn and adapt in a way that mimics human thinking. While we've made significant progress, it's still uncertain when or if AI will achieve true consciousness. Philomena Cunk. So, you're basically teaching machines how to think, like a digital Mary Poppins. That sounds exciting and terrifying at the same time. Dr. Laura Martinez. Well, our goal is to create AI that can be a valuable partner to humans, capable of understanding and solving complex problems. It's an exciting field with many challenges, but we believe the potential benefits are worth pursuing. Philomena Cunk. Thank you, Dr. Martinez, for sharing your fascinating work with us. I'll be sure to keep an eye out for any robots that start acting suspiciously philosophical. As we come to the end of this episode, it's clear that AI consciousness is a bit like trying to find the end of a roll of sticky tape. It's hard to grasp, and you never know if you're getting closer or just going around in circles. But whether or not AI becomes conscious, there's no denying that it's already having a huge impact on our lives. From helping us find the nearest pizza place to potentially solving some of the world's biggest problems, AI is here to stay, like that weird stain on your favorite shirt. So, while we keep an eye on the progress of AI consciousness, maybe we should also take a moment to appreciate all the good things AI has done for us. And who knows, maybe one day, we'll live in harmony with our new robot overlords, sharing jokes and discussing the meaning of life over a cup of digital tea. Discussion of the current limitations of AI and its limitations. Philomena Cunk. Although AI has come a long way, it still has its limitations. For one, AI can be a bit like a toddler. It's great at learning new things, but it can also be unpredictable and throw a tantrum when you least expect it. AI systems can be sensitive to changes in their environment or input data, leading to unexpected outcomes and occasional mishaps. Another limitation is that AI still struggles to understand context and nuance, like that time my uncle tried to explain the offside rule in football. While AI can process vast amounts of data, it can't always make sense of it in the same way humans can. This means that, for now at least, there will always be a place for human expertise and intuition. Interview with an AI developer about the challenges of creating AI consciousness. Philomena Cunk. I'm joined now by Alex Thompson, an AI developer who's working on creating AI consciousness. Alex, can you tell us about the challenges you face in your work? Alex Thompson. Sure, Philomena. One of the main challenges is trying to understand how human consciousness works in the first place. We still don't have a complete grasp on how our own minds work, which makes replicating consciousness in AI even more difficult. Another challenge is the sheer complexity of creating AI that can think and reason like humans. We are constantly working on refining algorithms and techniques to make AI more human-like, but there's still a long way to go. Philomena Cunk. It sounds like you've got your work cut out for you. Do you ever worry that your creations might one day turn against you, like a digital Frankenstein's monster? Alex Thompson. Well, Philomena, our primary focus is on creating AI that is beneficial and helpful to humanity. We take the potential risks and ethical concerns seriously and work to ensure that our AI systems are designed with safety in mind. Philomena Cunk. Thank you, Alex, for giving us a glimpse into the world of AI development. I'll be sleeping with one eye open, just in case my smartphone decides to stage a coup. Cunk's thoughts on the potential for AI consciousness to enhance human life. Philomena Cunk. In conclusion, whether AI achieves consciousness or not, the potential for it to enhance human life is undeniable. From making our lives easier to helping us solve complex problems, AI has the potential to change the world in ways we can't even imagine yet. Of course, with great power comes great responsibility, so it's crucial that we continue to explore the ethical implications and potential risks of AI development. But for now, let's embrace our robot friends and appreciate the exciting possibilities they bring to the table. Just make sure you don't get too attached. You never know when they might develop a mind of their own. Well, that's it for this episode of Cunk on Artificial Intelligence. We've delved into the minds behind the machines and pondered the possibilities and potential perils of AI consciousness. It's been a rollercoaster of emotions, mainly confusion and mild panic, but also fascination and wonder. In the next episode, we'll be exploring the world of AI and creativity. Can machines ever truly create art, music, or literature? Will we all be replaced by robot painters, musicians, and poets? Or will human creativity always triumph over the cold, calculating minds of our digital counterparts? Join me, Philomena Cunk, as we venture into the world of artificial imagination and discover what happens when machines get creative. Until then, stay curious, and remember the future is closer than you think. Hello, I'm Philomena Cunk, and welcome to Cunk on Artificial Intelligence. If you've ever wondered what AI is, how it works, or why your toaster sometimes seems to have a mind of its own, you're in the right place. Over the next hour, we'll be exploring the fascinating world of AI, its history, and its potential impact on our lives, and we'll have a laugh or two along the way, of course. Now, you might be wondering what exactly is artificial intelligence. Well, it's a bit like regular intelligence, except it's, artificial. In simple terms, AI refers to machines or computer systems that can perform tasks that normally require human intelligence, like recognizing faces, understanding language, or making complex decisions, like deciding whether or not to put pineapple on a pizza. AI is everywhere these days, from our phones to our cars, even in our fridges. You might have an AI assistant, like Siri or Alexa, who helps you remember your shopping list, find that song you can't get out of your head, or tells you the weather forecast. But AI goes way beyond personal assistance, and it's changing the way we live, work, and interact with the world around us. But how did it all begin? When did we start teaching machines to think like humans, or at least try to? It all started back in the 1950s, when a group of smart-of-hand scientists and mathematicians got together and asked themselves, what if we could create a machine that could think like a human? And so, the field of artificial intelligence was born. Back then, computers were the size of a small house and had less processing power than a modern calculator. But these early pioneers of AI didn't let that stop them. They believed that, with the right programming and enough time, they could create a machine that could replicate human thought processes and solve complex problems on its own. And they were sort of right, but it took a lot longer and was a lot harder than they originally thought. Over the years, AI has gone through many ups and downs, with periods of intense research and development followed by times when interest and funding dried up like a raisin in the sun. But in the last couple of decades, we've seen some incredible advances in AI technology, thanks to more powerful computers, clever algorithms, and the vast amounts of data we now generate every day. In this episode, we'll be taking a closer look at the history of AI and its early beginnings. We'll speak to scientists and experts in the field, delve into the concept of the singularity and discuss the current state of AI and how it's being used in various industries. We'll also explore the ethical implications of AI and its impact on society, and have a bit of a laugh along the way. So buckle up, put your thinking caps on, and join me, Philomena Cunk, as we embark on a thrilling journey into the world of artificial intelligence. Let's dive in. Now that we've got the basics out of the way, let's take a trip down memory lane and explore the history of AI. It's a tale of brilliant minds, big dreams, and machines that occasionally go rogue, or at least, that's how I imagine it. AI research kicked off in the 1950s, with a few key players who laid the groundwork for everything that followed. One of these pioneers was Alan Turing, a British mathematician and code breaker who cracked the Enigma code during World War II. He's best known for the Turing test, a test designed to determine whether a machine can exhibit intelligent behavior indistinguishable from that of a human. In a way, he was like the Simon Cowell of AI, judging machines on their ability to convince us they are just like us. Another early AI pioneer was John McCarthy, who coined the term artificial intelligence and organized the Dartmouth Conference in 1956.
With wine enthusiast.
This conference marked the official birth of AI as a field of study, and gathered together some of the brightest minds of the time, like Marvin Minsky and Claude Shannon. It was a bit like a gathering of superheroes, but instead of capes and masks, they had pocket protectors and slide rules. At this stage, AI research was focused on teaching computers to do tasks that humans found relatively simple but were actually quite complex, like playing chess or solving mathematical problems. They believed that if they could crack these problems, they'd be well on their way to creating a machine that could think like a human. One of the earliest AI programs was created by Arthur Samul, an IBM researcher who developed
Thanks so much for swinging by. That was an interesting one. Begin by simply listening. Slow down. See just how peaceful. Thanks so much for artificially AI-generated Philomena Cunk, and catch you guys on the
learning to ride a bike wobbly at first, but gradually getting better and better. Throughout the 1960s and 70s, AI research continued to progress, with researchers developing new techniques and algorithms to help computers learn, reason, and make decisions. They created programs that could solve algebra problems, understand natural language, and even prove mathematical theorems. It was an exciting time, full of promise and potential. People began to imagine a future where machines could do all sorts of things, from cleaning our houses to driving our cars. But as we all know, life is full of twists and turns, and the road to AI domination was no different.
Hello.
By the
I'm
1980s,
Philomena Cunk.
the optimism around AI was fading, and researchers found themselves facing some pretty big challenges. Computers were still nowhere near as powerful as they needed to be, and the human brain turned out to be a lot more complex than anyone had realized. AI entered a period of stagnation, sometimes referred to as the AI winter, where funding and interest in the field dried up. It seems that the dream of creating a truly intelligent machine was slipping through our fingers, like sand in an hourglass. But as they say, it's always darkest before the dawn, and AI research was about to enter a new era of innovation and discovery. In the 1990s and early 2000s, with the advent of more powerful computers and the internet, AI began to make a comeback. Researchers started to develop new techniques, like machine